Hello, it's Jared and Aaron coming at you from the Riley Love Dungeon, where he plans to explain how to measure a crossguard in TSL rules.
All right, so following the rules, it's really fairly straightforward. We're looking to get hilt length initially, and then blade length, and then blade plus hilt length is total length, right? So basically, the first measurement you need to do is the length of the hilt. So the length of the hilt here is just shy of 16 inches. So since this is layman's, we're not going for 100% accuracy, we'll just go with 16 because it's easy to remember. The next thing we need to do is we need to measure the metal part of the crossguard. It's kind of nice that this particular crossguard has angled emitters, because when we measure the metal part of the hilt, you always want to go to the longest part of the emitter. But when we measure the blades, we'll measure to the shortest part of an angled emitter. That's the same rule as if it was a standard single saber and it had an angled emitter on the top. It's the same way. You measure to the farthest part of the angled emitter and the blade to the shortest part of the angled emitter. Make sense?
Got it.
So we had 16, and then we measure this here, which is 6 inches.
Okay.
So 16 and 6 is 22.
There's math.
Correct.
Okay.
Now, remember we allow a 3.5-inch Suba hand protector in our rules.
Right.
So to basically allow the crossguards to be a similar length and out of control, being as basically this works as a crossguard, we're going to subtract 3.5 inches from that to give us the total length of the hilt, because we don't want to give the Subas an advantage per se. We want it to be fair. So we had 22 minus 3.5 gives us 18.5.
Side question. Are
Yes.
Subas allowed on, I know they're not on pikes, I know they're not on staves, but are they allowed on crossguards in exotics?
They are not, because the crossguard itself is the hand protector.
Okay,
right?
so
Yeah.
we measured 16 and 6, and then we're going to take away 3.5.
Right, which gives us 18 and a half.
Is this algebra?
No,
Oh,
it
okay.
isn't.
All right.
So always measure the hilt length. So you measure the length of the hilt, the length of the crossguard, minus 3.5.
Okay.
That gives you your hilt length, right?
So my swift burst of mental math, 16 and 6 was 22, and then minus 3.5 is what, 18.5? 18.5 is my hilt length.
Yes, that is your hilt length is 18.5,
Okay.
right? So then the next thing we need is our 3 blades. So your first blade is 34, and then like I said on these ones, we measure from the shortest part of the emitter. So that's 5 and 5. So we've got 34 and 10. So your blade length is 44.
So 44, and then for the total length of the crossguard is 44 and the 18 and a half.
Correct.
Which is
62 and a half.
62 and a half is kindness.
Yes, kindness is a
crossguard.
62 and a half overall length, which is well within our rules. Now, the other thing that's important for crossguards, because they sort of fall into the pike category, you can have a much longer hilt on this if you wanted, is this total length from end to end. So the total length of kindness end to end is just shy of 50, which means you could use kindness in one hand.
Ah.
If this measurement from tip to end was 59, you have to use it in 2 hands just like it was a pike.
Got it.
Make sense?
Last question. How does this change when, in certain models of crossguard, there's additional hilt above the crossguard with a handguard?
Correct. That counts into the total hilt length, and there's nothing against the rules that you can't hold it on there. But it counts into the additional hilt length is where that measurement goes.
Got it.
Right? So we don't really care about the design, about the hilt. Like your crossguards technically could be way back here, right? So that the crossguards were just above your hand, and then all of this is hilt. That's perfectly okay.
But stupid.
But dumb.
Okay.
But everything metal counts as hilt. Everything plastic counts as blade.
Okay. Thank you.
And that's basically it.
Thank you very much.